Okay, we're going to call the meeting to order. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Tom Tice.
Here.
Haley Rondo.
Here.
Anthony Sobek.
Here.
Cindy Smith is here. Cindy Apsey.
Here.
Here's everybody.
Has everybody had a chance to review your agenda? Is there anything you want to add or any correction? I'll entertain a motion to approve it as presented.
What?
Entertain a motion to approve it as presented.
I'll make a motion.
Oh, okay. I'll support that.
To approve with no changes?
Yes, sorry, I was.
Motion's been made and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. Any public comment?
I just have a question.
Yes.
Have you looked at the website for the CAM of North End Park?
Yeah.
But when I looked at it today, it was just going like that. Is it supposed, I mean, it wasn't still.
I didn't look at it today.
I looked at it this morning.
I watched it every day but the last couple days.
I swear, ever since we put it up, the lake's been calm.
Well, today, I just wondered if it was.
Yeah, it could have been anything. If it's still doing it, I'll give it hold of our tech guy. Yeah, or, but Phil, anytime you ever see that, you need to call or send me a message, whatever is easiest for you.
Because if we can see it when it's happening,
Yeah.
like, then we can
Yeah, when
kind
I
of
looked-
troubleshoot it better. I think it's cool.
I was gonna go look at it because that plane was landing in.
Well, it didn't do that, it was just.
No, but I mean, I was gonna see if I could see the plane landing today. It wasn't you, those?
I don't see it. Okay, take a look though.
No, it's good. And the waves are coming in, so yeah. Must have been just a,
Timing or who knows what. If you see it again, call us right away.
and that was one of my comments for tonight, was that the live feed is up. Just go to our homepage and the links on there to the camera. And the fence damage at the North End Park has been repaired. That was from the ice storm. That was repaired the same day the camera was put in. I don't know if everybody's noticed, but the fall diamond looks wonderful. And I want to thank the Mennonite kids for taking such good care of it and cleaning it up.
I see them out there using it.
Isn't it cool?
Yeah, if you're using it, it stays maintained.
Yep, yep.
They had the bases and everything out the other day.
Yeah, they got them in the spring from me. We had them in the basement. So I just want to thank them for families. I also wanted to say that I'm very proud of our planning commission. I'm proud of this board too, but last night there was a lot of people that attended the planning commission meeting. Some people believe that we were trying to sneak a solar project through, which we are not. Again, we do not have an application for a solar farm in Caledonia Township. But I was very impressed with the patience the board showed, the way they answered the questions very calmly and wisely and informationally. And I really, Anthony, when you have your next meeting, please tell them. Thank you. Pretty sure. That's about all I got.
sure it's something I should find for you.
Okay, has everybody received the clerk's minutes from July 14th meeting?
Yes.
Was that the end of the public comment?
Public comments were quite a while ago.
Oh, she was talking about the shaking and then that was it.
We can go back.
We
You didn't
can go
close that, so yeah, we can go back.
Sorry.
I just probably, no, it's, oh,
We
it's
thought she was
no
starting.
No, I thought she was into it, so we said anything.
We can go back, no worries.
No worries at all. So, do you have public comment?
Just wanted to make the board aware that on the archived minutes on the website, April 8th of 25 and May 13th of 25 give a 404 error.
April 8th and what?
May 13th of 25.
That may be due to the fact that we just redid our complete, and it might not have transferred properly, but thanks for letting us know, because we can then, because we don't sit there and go through it.
We just rebuilt the website.
That's what
And it's great. It is wonderful.
It really wasn't it was a matter of the server. We had an issue with the server and, right, so we had to reload everything on a different server.
I'll read the sooner and ask them to read, whatever's up there. That link could be broken, and so I don't like.
Thank you.
I work in that. ILG in Hubbard Lake, the old bank, that's my office.
Yep.
And then I live on the west side at 6705 Mount Moriah, so I know about website stuff, so yes, the links can be broken. I get that a lot.
We'll get those fixed right away.
Thank you for letting us know, I appreciate it. Any other public comments?
Do you want me to go to the podium or stay here, or what works best for you?
Just as long as we know who you are.
Nadine Valentine, I live on Oak Street in Hubbard Lake. I want to start off with, this is regarding solar, so I need to know if there's anybody on the board that is involved anyway with family. Should not be here. I guess they have to recuse themselves when it's being spoken about.
I'll address that. Usually we don't do this during public comment, but we did it with her and her, so.
That's not
Just one second. The only times when the decisions we made, we move it on. It's when they cannot be present. Okay? Okay, I'm sorry to interrupt you. Keep going.
That's okay. I was born and raised in Hubbard Lake. I moved away in my 20s, like many others, from this community that will always be home. I purchased a place on the lake that became our permanent home. We chose this area not only because of family, but because of the unchanging beauty of the area. My family has a long history of farming, so I am very familiar with the struggles and costs. I'll be very honest to tell you that what I do on my property is my business, but I also would never do something that would harm my community for any amount of money. My concern is that solar complex in this area on our rich agricultural land near our precious waters would not only have a detrimental impact on the land, but also the surrounding area. There are no guarantees when it comes to the what-ifs, and there are still very many questions and concerns about solar complex. The weather. The last 2 years we've experienced detrimental ice storms. What if there's a tornado? Rare, but they have occurred. What would be the result of a hailstorm? What about the runoff to the tributaries, groundwater, wells, surrounding properties, the lakes, Hubbard Lake, Lake Huron? Can we be promised 100% that these panels will not break, leach into the ground? A gentleman spoke at the Guston meeting that worked at a place that tested them here in Michigan and stated that they will break, and they do break, and they do leak harmful chemicals. There will be noise, there will be glare, there will be scenic light. Will the trees be cut down? What about the oak hill? Will planting be done with native and non-invasive vegetation? Where's the dirt coming from that they use to replace it? The ground will never be the same for decades to come, if ever. Decommissioning is a very concerning issue and brings up even more questions. Where does it all go? Who pays for it? How will it affect the surrounding property values? And it will. Wildlife will be negatively affected. This complex will damage the character of the area. Some of these concerns may seem minute, but we are not a testing ground for industries. Does this benefit our community? What minimal electricity is produced does not stay here. If this is approved, it will open the door to other industrial facilities wanting to build here. Is a data center next? Lots of water, just what they need, and we have it. Who is willing to sell out for that? There are townships and counties in Michigan that have denied SURs for solar complexes. When the community stands up and stands together, it makes a difference. Don't listen to anyone that says it's a done deal. They either don't care or are benefiting from it in some way. In closing, you cannot just sit back and wait for the administration to inform you of what is happening. You have to attend meetings, ask questions, and dig for information. Consumers' website says they have a solar project in Caledonia Township slated for operation in 2027. There have been several land leases in place for approximately 3 years. The managing director, Jesse Campbell, for the Alcona County Road Commission, is working on a final draft for road user agreement in Caledonia Township for the solar project. And then I have the meeting minutes for those dates of them.
You're at your 3 minutes.
Pardon?
You're at your 3-minute limit.
Oh,
You've been over it a little bit, but
Okay.
you was in closing, so I thought we were getting there.
Thank you.
Do know that all your concerns, when and if there's an application before our township, there will be many meetings, there will be a public hearing, and you can address your concerns and present them to the planning commission.
Absolutely.
Are you signed up to get our emails?
I am.
Okay, perfect. You'll be notified in many different ways.
Yes.
And I want to assure you, Nadine, there is no hiding with this board. We are very transparent, we are very open, we are human beings, but we have worked for years, the emails, the website updates. We try to be as transparent as possible because that's what our community needs. By false information and things that are not true does not help a community. We can all stay educated, stay involved. That's what makes us strong.
it's about things that aren't being said.
So,
And people
what's
have
not-
to dig.
What's not being
You
said?
have to be, you
What-
have to dig for it.
What is
for
not
it.
being said?
The county road commission, they're working on it.
That is not us.
That's
That is not us.
So
It's
we,
Caledonia Town.
It is
I know-
not us.
I know it doesn't say,
So-
I know it doesn't, but are
Jesse
you gonna
has not-
honestly sit there and tell me that you knew nothing about it?
No,
I do not.
so Jesse didn't
Yeah.
come to us and tell us anything, so are we
No,
supposed
but I.
to, are we supposed to
guys-
set up here and tell you
No, you're
things
not.
that we hear in a room?
we don't know.
Exactly, you're not. That's why I said, you have to come to meetings, you have to dig. I
So,
found it.
let me assure you.
That's how I came across it.
let me assure you,
That doesn't surprise you that that's happening?
let me assure you, it happens with other projects. When this project comes before the planning commission, I'm sure that consumers will submit their road permits. But let me assure you that we do not, the county roads are the county roads. We do not oversee them, we do not oversee their permits. Yes, we pay to repair them, yes, we pay to help maintain them, but we do not control them. That is the road commission, so you're gonna have to go to the road commission meetings, and you're gonna have to look through the road commission. We don't sign anything, we are not, I know, I'm just telling you, we're not, let me talk, you talk. We're not presented anything from the road commission when they issue any permit. So, we're not hiding anything from you. And yes, we all know that they have leases, that landowners have leases. We don't see them. We have nothing to do with them. It's a person, individual lease agreement, not the township. So yeah, consumers, however, someplace along the line, put a thing on their page, yeah, they've got that much property leased. They think they're gonna do this, but I don't know how they're gonna do it because there's no application. But it's not the first time I've seen false information on a business's page.
And here's the other thing, if someone goes to the road commission, gets permit to do a wide road down the road, we don't get notified of that either.
No.
Like,
Or
they don't notify us. Unfortunately, the person that has all the information is consumers. We have a piece someday maybe, and then road commission has a piece, Guston has their own piece, they all have their own pieces. And consumers knows all the pieces, and they're not a government entity to get the information from, and unless they're forthcoming to any of our boards or to the public, we're not gonna know until they do.
I'm just out of curiosity. Aren't you curious to know? Don't you do any digging on your own? As a person that lives in the community?
Well, this is the thing, when they come to us, they're going to present the information, and we will know what we need to look at. But if I spent all my time running around looking to see what Anthony's been doing, and the county's been doing, and the road commission's been doing, and Eagle's been doing, and the health department's been doing, I wouldn't have any time to take care of the township.
I mean, I guess I don't understand.
Isn't that part of taking care of the
Are
township?
we supposed to go door
That
to
is
door?
their
to ask-
job.
Are we supposed to go door to door?
No,
to ask
absolutely
who
not.
signed up for solar?
Solar?
Absolutely not. That's not what I said.
So I've got a question.
Yes.
I know you're not part of the commission, but it states that Jesse's working on a user agreement with consumers. So if they don't have a permit, why is it, that would be my question, I guess I have to
Well,
ask
if
him
he
tomorrow.
If he waited till there was a permit, and then we approved the permit, and he didn't have anything in place, what would happen?
But how does he
But,
know
okay.
that this is, I mean,
When
you
you're
don't have to apply for it first and then you make a plan?
No.
I mean, I don't know, I'm stupid.
No,
That's the planning commission.
All he's doing is making an agreement, so
If something happens, it's basically the same as our ordinance.
It's there.
It's gonna be there so that if something happens, then they have to go to him. If he did not do that, and they came to Harrisville or Guston or Caledonia, and that got approved, he would already be behind the 8 ball on that. So it's basically like our ordinance. He's putting it in place so that when and if something happens, he is ready. And the county road commission is ready. It'd be like us not saying, we're not gonna do an ordinance until we get a permit for it. I mean, it wouldn't make any sense.
But
So I mean, I don't know what else we're
Even
supposed
with
to
Dollar
think.
General, when they came, like, they had contractors set up, they had signed people set up for sizes, because you need all that information to ask you guys for it, because who would you approve if you had no information?
site plan, I mean, the
Right.
community association had to come in and show us where everything was, but they had to hire an engineer or designer first, and that person drew it up, the portions that they needed in different, when you go to pull a building permit for a new house, you have to get a septic permit first, you have to get a land use permit first, before you go to the building department. But the building department doesn't run around and ask the health department and Nick Dewey, what have you been doing and what have you issued? So it's just the steps that each of us in the community take to make a project come together and that everybody is protected. If that makes any sense.
So assuming he saw that consumers had on their website this, they're getting something ahead of schedule, being prepared for when they possibly do ask for the permit.
And possibly consumers went and said, can we do this? I don't know.
Yeah, I have a,
No, I don't know.
there's no commission in there,
But I don't know that it's, I mean.
It wouldn't be in the
road
meeting minutes.
Commission's a little different because the board don't oversee day-to-day operations of the road commission. So if Jesse decided, well, I think this is a good idea, he wouldn't necessarily need to talk to his board about that, he could just move forward with that. They're there for contract negotiations, wages, bills,
Purchases.
all of that. They're not there for day-to-day operations.
Thanks for clarifying.
Yes, thank you for I appreciate the information, because
That's above my pay grade. I don't know.
Like we hear the same rumors everyone else is hearing, but
It
until
just-
something's before us,
No,
we have nothing.
I just saw it in the minutes and I'm like, well, I don't know, I didn't know how that worked for permit wise or if they already had something in place, but
Yeah.
it said a user agreement for the solar project. So I was just curious, how, not knowing how that all worked.
Yeah, we have
Yeah,
to,
it could be for the specifically say Caledonia.
It said, another one said something about the user agreement with consumers.
Yeah.
So it
So it could be
was
the one-
December and January, their meeting, in their meeting.
Yeah, it
so-
could be the one that was already approved, the solar farm investment that was already approved.
That was denied, that was denied.
no,
Oh, no.
that was only part of it. There was one that was, there was already one active. That
Yeah.
was just an extension of the original one.
Good thing they stopped.
Yeah, whatever.
It's like 4,000 acres is already been approved, hasn't it?
that's still.
Consumer, the way I understand,
Consumers has
Wow.
4,000 acres they would like to do in Alcona County.
Okay.
So that might be all the projects.
Right.
Yeah, and all their uses. Yeah, okay.
All right,
Okay, any more public comment? And I'm sorry about that. Okay. Okay,
go ahead and close it.
yeah, just closed, and where were we?
We were talking about minutes we didn't approve of.
Okay.
She just asked if we all got one.
Anybody have any corrections or changes to the minutes? Okay, so I'll entertain a motion to approve the minutes as presented by the clerk.
I'll make a motion to approve the July 14th, 2026 regular meeting minutes.
I will support that.
Motion's been made and seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. So do you have any other business?
No, we had elections, everything went wonderful. And I want to thank my election workers and Cindy for picking up the pizza for us, and Linda Sylvie for making lunch for all the workers. And for all the voters who came out, we had a remarkable turnout for our primary.
Haley? Do you have anything? I don't. Okay. Anthony?
The planning commission met here last night, and as you said, there was many people in attendance. Most of all the public comment was about the solar. And then we moved on to our business, which we set a public hearing for our ordinance updates, which include some solar updates, and then there's a couple other updates. They're all on the website, and they're gonna be in the newspaper. And we scheduled our public hearing for August 31st at 7 p.m. And as long as everything gets in the paper for the next 2 weeks, that'll be good. And we canceled our September meeting.
So we should let Cedar know so it goes on the calendar.
Or a pop-up again, prior
Well,
to that.
we already have, we'll do the pop-up for the ad, but I'm saying take off the date in September and add the August date to the calendar.
Okay, yeah. 7 p.m. you said?
And the changes are already on our website.
And then Dan spent about a half an hour discussing or explaining the things that we have done to combat the solar and protecting the community. And he also talked about how everybody should be, remember that everybody's neighbors.
Yes.
And not to believe everything you read on social media. And we're neighbors.
Yes. I appreciate what it said, yes.
We can have differences of opinion, but still respect one another.
That's it.
Well, Jim is almost done. Jim?
We're going on a sugar high over there.
Well, as most everybody knows, I go up to the cemetery every Friday, check our grave flags. So I had some free time, I guess you want to call it. So after I checked all the grave flags, I thought, well, I'm going to walk around the old original section and look at grave markers and take my pad and pencil. And the first one I stopped at was this, we call it an obelisk. It looks like a big cement post sticking up out of the ground. Kind of fancy, but anyway, I wrote down the inscription that was on that obelisk headstone, and it was for Mahala Burnett Patnod. He was born October the 8th, 1833 in New York. She died June the 7th, 1892 here in Caledonia Township. She was married twice, first to Michael Schell, then to Jeremiah Patnod. But it's her first husband who captured Miami. On March the 28th, 1858, in Casco Township in St. Clair County. She married Michael Shell. He was born January the 1st, 1838 in Canada. He enlisted August the 21st, 1861 in Port Huron, and mustered into Company A of the 7th Michigan Infantry Regiment on August the 27th, 1861, the rank of a private. Now, like Paul Harvey said, now the rest of the story. He was wounded. He was taken prisoner during the Battle of the Wilderness in Virginia on May the 6th, 1864. Was transferred to the Libby prison in Richmond. And then he was sent to the Andersonville prison in Andersonville, Georgia. That's bad. There he died October the 8th, 1864, of disease and diarrhea. Michael Shell is interred at the Andersonville National Cemetery, Section H, grave number 10417. Now, Michael and Mahala Shell's son, James H. Shell, and his wife, Alvina, are both buried in Lot 13, in the original section, Pleasant View Cemetery. Now, what else is worth mentioning is that in the adjacent lot, of Lot 12 of the original section, lies William Spoon, good old Bill Spoon, whom I have adopted. He's also a Civil War veteran, but it was his older brother, George H. Spoon, who fought in the Civil War. Both he and his brother enlisted, mustered in to the very same unit, the very same day, Company I, 1st New York Dragoons. Both fought during the Battle of the Wilderness. But it was his older brother, George Spoon, that got captured. May the 7th, 1864, he was also sent to the Libby prison in Richmond, Virginia, and then transferred to Andersonville, where he died September the 10th, 1864, of starvation. George H. Spoon, William's older brother, is also interred at the Andersonville Confederate Prison, Section J, grade number 32. Now, how weird is that? That in the big community of Spruce, Michigan, Pleasant View Cemetery, that we got two grave sites side by side, and both have a connection to the Civil War and the Andersonville prison in Andersonville, Georgia. That's strange. So, anyway, I was going to go on and talk about something totally different. I guess my question to the board, and if anybody else knows the answer, who would have jurisdiction about naming the community center?
I would imagine the community association.
It would be the community center committee or the township?
I don't think it'd be the township.
Not
It would
us.
definitely not be the township, no, because we had wanted to keep the library and we couldn't.
But to name the entire building itself,
I would say a community association, their board.
the board would have the last say on that.
I would assume whoever's name is on the deed to the building would be my guess. Because I know there's two, there's Friends of Hubbard Lake, I believe, isn't there? Friends of Hubbard Lake?
Yes, Friends of the Hubbard Lake Center
Yeah,
and the Hubbard Lake Community Association.
yeah, there's two, so.
So jointly, they would have to say what they want with it, right?
I would assume so.
So I should go to the community center meeting.
What, their Monday nights, what is it, the third month? What's that?
Next month.
Next Monday.
Yeah,
You're the third Monday of the month,
yeah,
7 o'clock
yeah.
at the
Community.
New center.
community center. Okay. The reason I say that is I'm on a mission, like the Blues Brothers. I'm on a mission from God. But I just want to plant a seed, maybe all of you here in this audience can attend that next meeting, because what I'd like to know is how many people do you know, or persons do you know from Hubbard Lake that have made a major impact, not only on their community, but also the state of Michigan and in other places around the world from Hubbard Lake. I don't know,
Very few.
I know one.
Who's that? Jim Fry?
No. No. Only at the North End Restaurant.
Yeah.
So I'll share that at the next meeting, but
Okay.
anyway,
Thank you.
I was wondering where I should go with that.
Well, you got your question?
Yeah. I did attend the Sanborn Township meeting last night after I left here before the food off. The reason I went over there is I have an issue with their cemetery over there, because it makes our cemetery look like Manhattan. And what they do with their veteran flags over there was disgraceful, and I told them as such. And I was specific. Someone asked me if I would be nice enough to clean a headstone. Yeah, my passport's in order, I'll go to Osneek, no problem. I'll use my cleaning stuff, it's my time. What I had an issue with was, when you drive in there, and this happens to be in the Native American section, there's a sign out there that says Native American. I didn't know whether to be upset by that or not. I looked around, I said, I don't see a white section. I don't see a Lutheran section. And I was thinking, back in the day, and it still happens today, down in the south, cemeteries are segregated. You have a white section and a black section. And the care and the maintenance varies. So not only does that segregation and racist behavior happen during their lifetime, it follows them all the way to their grave. That's what I was thinking about when I saw that sign. But anyway, it's kind of off by itself. It's not very well maintained. So I did let Sanborn Township know about it last night, so.
Hey Jim, where's that at?
Right before the railroad tracks in Osneek. You kind of drive back, where, you cross the river, and you're heading up towards the railroad tracks. You have to really look, but it's on your right-hand side. You drive
On
back.
what road?
US
US
23.
On 23, the railroad tracks, and it's to the
It's
left.
before
To the
the, right, before the railroad tracks. You just have to watch for the
Kind of back in
sign.
the woods.
Yeah, you have to drive back into the woods.
Where the, like somewhere where the old store was
Yep.
there?
Yes, yes.
Okay,
Behind that.
yeah, so.
You just have to look. There's a sign on it.
Depot.
I remember that old stuff.
No, they did that.
Yes. It's very interesting to visit.
And you might as well just tell them right now, the only way to get you to stop is to give you your way. We learned a long time ago. If you're giving them trouble down there, just let them know that the best way to stop you is to give you your way. You tell us what we're doing wrong up here all the time, we'll fix it, right?
Yeah. Always room for improvement. But there's ice storm damage collateral still laying in that Native American section. They must mow the grass maybe twice a year because it's very shady. But they could do a lot better, disrespectful. And it goes back, that sort of attitude I thought was long gone.
Is that the only
Other than
cemetery,
Cleveland, Ohio.
is that the only cemetery you know of that has, where it's indicated that there's a different ethnicity?
I think locally it's the only one that I know of.
Because I know that there were a lot of Indians here in Hubbard Lake, and I just wondered
Everywhere
if there was a lot, you know.
There's an Indian cemetery in Mankato too,
Yeah, but that's on a,
reservation.
well, it's like,
Yeah.
they have their own community there. And they don't want to be called Indian.
No.
Usually by their tribal name or Anishinaabe means First Nations or First People. Specifically by their tribal name.
Thank you, Jim.
That's all I have.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thanks for checking on the flags every Friday and replacing them. I shouldn't have said a word.
Like Colombo, one more thing. There was 3 veterans in that Native American section.
Yep.
They're nasty. I got them in my truck. I used them as exhibits A, B, and C last night, but I took 3 flags out of my truck and replaced them. So we have 3 Caledonia flags in Sanborn Township.
Thank you. I think that'll be okay. I'm going to do that. Thank you, Jim. We'll take it out of
Anything
your
or-
check.
The flags, when you look at, it's supposed to be red, white, and blue, and they're green.
That's not good.
But,
That was funny, Tom.
Shall we give the update?
Yeah, you do the update on the cell tower, please.
So I spoke with the gentleman from the cell tower lease, and I believe I gave you all his number. But he had said, give him time, like, he didn't want you to call him right away because he is looking at doing it maybe a different direction, with giving the amount that he wanted to give. But since we're gonna use some of the money at the site at Hickey Hill, he said maybe they can give us the money that they offered last time, plus make a donation on top of it to be used at that same site. Because donations are company write-offs versus purchasing. So he was going to work with his people on his end, and he said give him a month or 2. So I think we should just table this until we hear our offer again.
Thanks for
Mhm.
contacting them. I gave all of you a copy of the request for sealed bids on the TNT building. Cindy gave me 2 changes. I now have a space between September and 8, and then adding it again at the bottom by noon at 9/8/2026.
Is that too much? Check my box. Yeah.
That's why I did it. I was going to lunch off, lunch minute.
And I'll be here right at noon.
Yeah,
So
Yeah.
anything after that won't come.
great. That's my goal. If there's anything else anybody can think of, I'll change it.
No, I did get the, PING info.
Yeah. Did you
It's
get
in
that?
our name.
Okay.
Consumers I haven't heard from, I'll just need to make the call.
Because usually when people sell a piece of property,
They call and let us know if you have
they,
a
of course, they left them on. And that's why I asked about it, because she asked.
Okay, but I know that piece is in here, so I'll make note that I need to be there.
Yeah. But we will have to have them completely, that road shut off.
Okay.
Before they start digging on.
But we're not there yet.
No, we're not there yet. We can do that in September. Okay.
That was a lot of work you did too.
Okay, Anthony last month presented us with the short-term rentals suggested. I went through it, Anthony, I think you guys, I like the fact that it's not a big deal, or, so when they apply, they have to do the septic and the well and provide all that stuff for the permit, correct? Okay. The only thing I was thinking is that we should have a certified testing service for the water. It's not something they can do that they buy in Walmart and test the water.
Yeah, because that was one of my suggestions too. It says, require property owner to water sample test completed for the well. From where can you do your homes? My question, like,
I just buy certified service. License. Right, yes, the health department does it, so it'd be a licensed service.
I think we were.
I would just add something in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd just add something in there so they don't just go to Home Depot, get a kit and take a picture of it and say it's good.
What do you guys think about how many miles? What was the planning commission's idea, Anthony?
I think we were thinking like an hour.
Okay. I was thinking half. But even if they're, even if they're an hour away, they still can make a phone call to the people that are there.
Yep.
Correct? What do you
I
guys
mean, I
think?
think we were trying to get away from people like, you know, living in Florida.
Yeah, or even
We don't
Detroit,
know anybody up there, so.
not to single out Detroit, but yeah, the other side of the state, still a long ways away.
See, I was thinking a lot shorter than 10 miles. So they're like also employing local people. Keep an eye on
It
it.
doesn't have to be an employer, it can be a friend.
Brother.
Right. Just somebody.
You got a brother that lives in Alcona.
My only other suggestion was require the septic be pumped every 3 years. I would like it to also say with proof given at time of renewal that they actually did
Well,
it.
they would have to.
Receipt.
There's someone that needs to be.
You have to verify from the health department.
Okay, so you think required to file?
With verbiage for renewal periods, right?
Yeah, if that was the name and phone number of the designated agent, should be on the website, but maybe also at the rental somewhere
Yeah, I think that. Go under here.
under there.
Yeah. So you wanna add?
You can
that?
just keep that.
Well, you can add that and you can scan that in. and email it.
Oh, is that what you want? Okay,
We're not done yet.
add my suggestions
That's what
with yours. Okay.
Okay, so then we had the feet. I don't know if you guys were thinking the 500 feet, I was thinking just a couple, but that's only 2 lots on each side.
What is it that we do for border review, 200 feet?
500 feet.
500?
And there's like tons of notifications for 500 feet, but I was just thinking like house 1, house 2, house 1, house 2, that's 4 houses. What do you think?
So 200?
Okay. And you guys can go, you guys know better than we do, these are just our thoughts. What day was fireworks, was the 4th, and
I would just change it to first rate law,
that's a good idea.
so if it ever changes, it's covered.
That's a good idea. I like the quiet hour idea. I was visiting with a woman that's got one on Higgins Lake, and she said that her contract has all this stuff in it.
What are going to be the quiet hours?
That's what I was thinking. What do you guys think? We could make a suggestion, so maybe we say 10 to 8, or 10 to 6. I would think 8 o'clock in the morning would be.
11 to 8?
11 to 8.
Yeah, I mean, just have a bonfire. Doesn't even get dark till 9:30, 10 sometimes. I'd say 11.
That's too early.
Okay. See, you guys are all party animals.
I'd say that.
Right.
And I'm okay with midnight too.
Yeah. Like I said, you guys, yeah, you guys know.
I mean, I live on 4 hours of sleep, so.
I know.
Yeah, on a good day.
12 to 6, is everyone agreeing with that?
Okay, fireworks. The maximum occupancy will depend on what the septic permit says. And the parking, would that be, how would, the size of the driveway? I know.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
What is the driving force for the new ordinance?
As-
I'm not aware. If there was is there a problem that
This
happened?
one here?
Yeah.
Yes, there's a problem, there's people that are upset because they're moving inside them. And you,
Or buying houses and renting them for
yeah.
Okay.
their
Yeah,
beauty.
there's a really bad stretch of several of them. But the problem is these people are only here for a couple days. And they don't care if they didn't holler all night and have a good time.
Well, and I figured logically that that's what it was, but I'm on the Hubbard Lake Facebook page and I try and look at it every few
Yeah.
days, but I didn't see anything
No,
that I saw was a big,
It was neighbors that came to us and
Okay.
said, you know, and we're trying to come up with something that works both.
Yeah.
Well,
I just want to make a comment that I know some other areas that they put a limit on, the property has to be rezoned commercial. If you're renting it more than, I'm not sure, it's like 3 or 4 weeks out of the year, it has to be zoned commercial. And then the other thing is that a lot of the quiet hours are from like 10 until 7 or 8, because a lot of people in the area work, and with people working remotely, 12 to 6 is not really conducive.
Most people rent it. Most people do rentals Fridays, Saturdays, Sundays, kind of things. Maybe for the whole week of the month.
No, they're by the week.
The one on Oak Street are by.
Yeah, most all of them, especially like in my neighborhood too, are by the week. And, you know, working from home, you're trying to sleep and you have people partying at midnight and you have to work at 7.
And if we over restrict it, then we need someone to enforce it, and that's where the trouble really comes in.
Well, that's,
You know,
that's
so-
also where the noise ordinance for
What
the
noise
county
ordinance?
comes in.
There is no
We
noise
can't,
ordinance in Alcona
we
County.
tried and they,
There's no noise ordinance in Alcona County, and they're not interested in doing it, and to be perfectly honest, I don't see a need for it either.
Really?
Every time, I've said this at the planning commission, every time that people come in here, this book gets thicker and thicker and thicker with more restrictions that everybody wants to impose. Nobody ever comes in and says, let's do less. They want more government, and then the big time for this is gonna be what? Memorial Day, 4th of July, Labor Day, them are your big weekends. So now you gotta find somebody that wants to work on them weekends to go out and enforce all this. And so that's, nobody's gonna want.
Unfortunately, I don't agree with that, 'cause
That's,
If they're doing it on,
On an Airbnb, VRBO, can you make them have to put those rules in there? Are they put, I mean, I've not gone on the
If
website
anybody's
to
gone to
see.
look, because I've rented a lot of VRBO and Airbnb.
We don't.
Traveling for work, and usually they'll tell you, they have a book, you have to sign like a contract with them for their house that says you're gonna follow these rules.
that is what we're hoping to accomplish here is that they have.
Some basic rules.
They already have them for the Airbnb and VRBO, so if they're not following that,
That's a good idea about the parking. I heard you start talking about parking, because that's an issue with my neighbors. They're driving across their lawns and so.
did they call the police?
I don't think they did. They're, you know,
So now let me back up. How is that the township's responsibility?
if you
I've
want to
talked-
call the police,
Place,
I've-
arrest people that are vacationing. I mean, it's not that they don't like the vacationers. They want the people that own the property to make sure that they are, you know, make them have lines, this is where you're parking. Then again, there was renters that were stealing stuff from neighbors' yards, and, I mean, no, you can't police that.
Right, that
But
we
it's-
can't police.
But it's
That's-
getting bigger, it needs
that's
to be
a
limited. There's gonna be
legal
like
issue.
6 on our street, and 3 in a row. It's gotta be limited, you can't have that many in a row and expect it to not get out of hand.
That's why we're trying to do this.
yes.
Okay, so back to parking. How do you,
I would say it's by the size of the driveway and how many feet you have for parking.
So this is where I ran.
And then the
Oh,
side of the
oh,
road.
size of the roads
So,
too?
well, no, this is where I ran into an issue on all these, and this is, I said it during the planning commission meeting. You're gonna say, you can only have, you're gonna rent this out for 4th of July, so you can only have 4 vehicles in your driveway. The following weekend, you're gonna have a family reunion at this same property. You can have 100 cars on that property.
See, I'm sorry, again,
Does it
I've
say-
rented a lot, and they tell you, you're only allowed so many vehicles.
I know, but
by
I'm
the-
saying from
Yeah.
our
Our-
point of
Yeah.
Renting it, and then you run into then the neighbors may not know. They might say, oh, they're renting it out again this weekend. So then they're gonna be calling. They've got, 20 vehicles in their driveway, and your ordinance says they can only have 6.
Well, can,
Well, then
is there
it's something.
something in there about just no parking on the street?
there could
Well,
be.
You can legally park on the side of the street if you're over the white line, so once again, we can't overrun
What
what
if
the
there
law
is no
is.
white line on these dirt roads?
Yeah.
You know.
The right of way is the right of way.
What ifs,
Well, there's no parking. on
I don't like the idea of either vehicle parking, honestly.
That was a big one there. So there's-
I don't know, there's times I drive down Cedar Drive and it's one lane.
But it's not necessarily
But it-
roads either.
Right, I mean,
But my thought process is if that situation irritates anybody, legally, it's law enforcement's job to.
Well, all of these, most of the time when people came in here and they were complaining about people using their dock and people driving on their
It's all,
property.
it's a sheriff's
But
department.
every time I've asked, nobody has ever called law enforcement.
But I think this is still a good idea, Anthony, in that it sets a guideline.
Yeah.
It sets an expect what we expect, what the community expects,
I mean, maximum occupancy, I don't even know how we can enforce that, but
That's gonna,
You have to go at the septic.
you'd have to go by the septic.
But she's saying, what do we do, go in the house and kill the people?
Right.
right, like, you can have a birthday party at my house and my septic can't handle that, but I can have 50 people there.
Right.
The whole
And then
thing I
they
hope
tell me to shut it down.
By doing that is no different than when we read this hall, and this is a maximum occupancy. We have hope that people will respect.
But we don't come in here and tell them.
Like I said,
Right.
I'm saying.
So you're saying put it out there and hope it's respected?
Yes, yes.
That's where having somebody contact information came in, because really, I don't know how we're gonna.
You can't just walk into people's houses.
She
The
has
cost, oh, yes, I'm sorry.
Did you want to say something else?
Just if there's,
Again, you have to sign a contract
Yeah,
and
that's
rent
what-
these places, so if there's an issue, I had an issue with the place I rented, I had to take it up with Airbnb and VRBO, and then they mediated it between them and the person who owns it. And I took care of it that way.
I think having a contact person for us as a township, if you complain,
still,
there's a contact person that's responsible for enforcing their contract. I believe they all have contracts, I just don't believe that people respect the contracts.
right, but
But
And
that's
then there's
where,
people that run out that don't respect.
yeah, is it an Airbnb or a VRBO or both? So that you know that you can go right directly to them or whoever the place is and go, listen, you have people renting right now and they're doing this. And according to your contract, they're not supposed to be. I think you should address it so that it's not necessarily your job, but knowing who to go to actually file the complaint if they're doing it through an Airbnb or a VRBO. I don't know if there's a way to do that.
Well, it's gonna be a 3-year fee.
Do you guys have a number in mind? Because somebody's gonna have to take these minutes, somebody's gonna have to verify the information. And I almost am thinking that maybe we should do like we do with our land divisions. Whoever does them just takes the minute fees.
It would make sense to me,
Yeah, because that's what happens with the land division too.
because we're not trying to make money off of this.
No.
It would go for the work entailed to it, so whatever the fee is,
Cover itself.
So
The
do
fee
you,
is to cover the process, because somebody's gonna have to mail out letters,
right.
and all that takes time.
verify the information, and then if there's a complaint,
Who has to mail out letters?
we do, whoever.
Whoever we put in charge of this.
Whoever is in charge of
Shouldn't
it.
the person that's doing it, shouldn't that be there?
That's gonna be part of their permit fee. That's what's
Clear
gonna
up in
be.
there.
That's why this took so long. 'Cause
Yeah.
it's-
So many
Every
questions.
time you come up with something, there's more questions than answers.
So we're just sending this back to you guys, and you guys can discuss it, your board, okay? I was thinking $300 would be $100 a year, I don't know if that's handle or
I
not.
was thinking 600, honestly. I mean, you're gonna have just a level.
Crazy.
$200-300.
I'm thinking that the time, the letters, what you gotta do, the county to get all the addresses,
Plus you gotta keep track of when they need to be
the
released.
stamps, the envelopes, the tracking, then making sure they fit all these things, making sure it's posted everywhere, driving there, like,
And keeping a record of complaints.
Guess the other question is who you answer it.
Well, we'll figure that out when you get here.
so what kind of cost?
I said 300, but you said 600, and all he's gotta do is at least take those numbers back and, so just put $300 to $600 in it. Did you have an idea?
Nope.
And no one's gonna just do all this for,
Yes, sir.
Recurring problem throughout all of Northeast Michigan.
Oh, yes.
Every
all of
township
Michigan.
is working on it.
Yep.
If you wanna work with them to see what they're doing.
We,
um,
they haven't.
You got piles.
They got a ton of them.
All right.
So-
These are all other,
Yep. They've been working on it for a while.
and that's the problem, is you can over-government it right to the end on every what if but things.
I mean, some of them are,
So I've used Airbnb, VRBO before, and like she was saying, you have a contract.
Occupancy,
So
the
basically,
driving
and all of the
spaces,
things, so why they don't follow them, why are they gonna follow this? Like, I don't understand why we.
Because this is the owners, this is what we expect out of the owners, and if they don't, hell, you have to do that.
Yep.
if they don't get a permit, they don't have an Airbnb.
I don't know.
I mean, they're,
and here's the problem. If you don't give them a permit and they decide not to go through Airbnb,
they're gonna do it
and they're
anyways.
gonna do it anyways, and then they're not using
Any platform.
any platforms that they're rated on. That was
I
the other
mean, I
problem.
don't,
My answer would be, we're trying to help the people that are living by.
I mean,
We're trying-
I
we're
get
trying
that,
to,
I feel for them,
answer-
I get that, but also, like you said, when you have an Airbnb and you have a VRBO, you already sign all of that stuff.
Mhm.
And so if they don't follow that, they're not gonna follow this.
But maybe it's a matter of the landowner enforcing it more so.
Or their management company, or,
That's something, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, whoever it is, but yeah.
How are you gonna do it?
That's what I'm saying, like, what's the, like,
That was
Who's gonna
what,
police Airbnb and VRBO to know whether they're they're
Right.
listing on there?
Like, it's a vicious cycle, however you look at it, so I don't, what about, who's gonna,
we have a hard enough time.
I mean, I have a heart for the neighbors that are trying to get some sleep,
That's
and
what
are
I'm
you
saying,
next
like,
door?
I'm not trying to discredit that at all, but what I'm saying is,
The owners have rights too, to do what they want. You know, if they want to rent it, they can rent it. Who are we to tell them they can't do stuff with their own property?
Only when it infringes on the neighbors, I think is the problem.
there's things that are infringed on neighbors.
but there's no way you're gonna find
Well,
somebody to do
and I
all of this stuff, like you said, 4th of July, Memorial Weekend.
I can tell you that
Are you ordinance?
I talked to 2 people who live on the lake in Caledonia Township, or have places on the lake. One lives there, one has a place on the lake, and they said, I asked them about it, what they thought, their opinion, and they said, I don't like my neighbor, I wish I could give him another week. Both of them said that.
Well, there's one of them. So when you did the survey, didn't you say it was 50-50, like 50 of them wanted it?
49-51 or something.
Yeah, that was 51 for them and 49 against.
It was, I mean.
So then I'm wondering why.
It was a straight.
But, like, I get it, I spoke to someone here, I met him here, and we spoke to him about
Yeah.
short-term rentals, and he was mad.
Yeah.
And I understand what he's saying completely. If that was my house, I would be upset. But I don't understand how when the RBO, when you have your stuff online like that, and they, I mean, I've done it. I've used that.
The gentleman you talked to, did he talk to the owners that?
I don't think that they were even they were not his next door neighbors ever. He was just afraid that someday, he didn't have the experience. He didn't have a bad experience. He was afraid someday his neighbors would sell him, and that's what he would get for a neighbor.
But
Don't get to pick him.
Oh, you pick
I
before you
moved
buy.
because of a neighbor.
What's that?
You pick,
Pick before you buy, hopefully you go see the neighbors if the house is for sale, you go see them. Well, true.
And that happened to me. I had a neighbor that, until they do, it wasn't a good situation, and I had to sell my house and move.
My
And then he put 50 people to the house, and we, look, 6 months later, after I moved, I mean,
So on my
Unfortunately,
entire
it's just-
street, there's only 2 of us that are not Airbnbs out of 8. There's only 2 of us.
like I say, I feel for you. I get that. That I wouldn't like people up in my stuff like that. But I don't know how if they're not following those rules, they're gonna follow this. And an owner can't sit there and watch them and be like, you can't do that. You can't do that. There's no way it's gonna happen. No way.
The thing that frustrated me was everybody that came in here and complained, and you asked them.
And you
if they
never called the law
enforcement. Well, no.
Well, and they're not gonna come out anyway. I mean, we've called about parking on the street and they don't come out, and by the time they come out, they're gone.
But then how are we enforcing that? If the law can't even do that, then how are we gonna fix that?
Right, so who are we supposed to send out, I guess?
No, I guess my thought is just, is there a way that the township can limit the number of Airbnbs that people are putting in?
So we
Like,
discussed that.
that's why it was how we're going to continue.
So we discussed
Putting limits like that. We discussed having it so that if there was one at this address, you had to have 2 addresses that were not them. So my thing was, I didn't want to limit it. I compared it to, so if there's somebody that moves up here, they retire up here, they buy a place on the lake, and they end up passing away. They got kids that still live downstate, and their kids are like, we're gonna keep that. We go up there, we take our kids up there, they love it. They get their first tax bill, it's not a non-resident tax bill on Hubbard Lake. And they say, we need to do something.
Yep.
And they want to rent it out.
Absolutely.
You're gonna have to sell it because your neighbor already rented as their Airbnb. We know you only want to do it for a couple weeks a year to pay your taxes, but they already did their permit, you're too late, you might as well sell.
But, I don't know. I mean, is there a happy medium where they can only do it a few weeks a year or something like that? So you're not limiting them, but it's not.
But then you have Christmas and things.
And how are we gonna enforce that? What we
Valentine's
do to
Day,
Jordan
spring
Lake,
break.
you know, like.
I just want to know where happy medium exists. In all cases.
In all cases, yeah.
It's a moving target.
Someone back and others happy. So I just notate for right now that we have discussions and there's hesitation by some board members of even having one. And I maybe table this, and I have some questions I need to find answers to.
Well, it's gonna go back to the planning.
Oh, so send it back this way with that.
And
You can still do your
Suggestions.
Yeah.
Yeah, do the suggestions.
Yeah.
And you can still look up what you want to do.
And go to the next planning commission meeting.
Yeah, but it'd come back to us anyhow, right? Like,
Yeah.
before it's finalized. Yeah.
Excellent.
I'm not even so sure they want the way to go.
Okay. So you made that
If you
notation
want-
about.
If you want to
Yeah.
read some of these, you can. You know, how many pages that is.
The more we government something to death, and then there's too many ifs, ands, and buts and situations that happen.
Okay. Any more?
No, sorry.
Our county commissioners are not coming tonight. Yes. Grand Rapids. We did get the road, the fire, sheriff's department village did pass.
So many calls.
Did everybody have a chance to review the bills to be paid?
Yes.
I'll make a motion to pay the bills as presented.
Support that.
Motion's been made and seconded to approve the bills to be paid as presented by the clerk. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. I forgot to add to the agenda, I thought I did, but I didn't. I give you all quotes on the Hubbard Lake sign. I just got the one from Murphy's this afternoon. I did it 2 ways. One way I broke it down, kind of like we did the hall. Austin Building to supply for the materials. Murphy Builders were putting it in. Omega for the sign only. And that comes to $7,427.68. The other way was if Omega did it all themselves, the support and everything. And to make note, Omega's was steel poles.
Versus what?
Yes. So I'm pretty sure that's a lot
So
of
that's a lot of the cost.
Yeah. So they're like, 4,500 different. So it's something you guys can think about.
Where's the new sign going, Cindy?
What's that?
Where's the new sign going?
Our sign is going where the one they took out.
Oh, it is?
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah, I tried to, I was hoping that we could buy the sign before they took it out, but. So, we'll put it in.
So we'll take us to next meeting.
Gives you guys time to think about it, because I just got the one from Murphy Builders this afternoon. And I have calls into other contractors, a lot of them are telling me they're too busy. But like Marty said, it's only if you could just catch them when they got a couple days between a project, it's not a hard project to do or a long. And I think, when they took the sign out, they took the pole to the tower, they took everything. I think we should seriously look into a good, solar.
Well, so that may be added on to this.
Wouldn't be able, if we went with the power, it'd be more expensive, but if we just got a solar light, it might be $50, $75 or something. I might even be able to get consumers.
To do it. Okay. What was that there before, a solar one?
No, they had power, there was power there, power pole,
Oh, they took it off on it?
they took it all, they took the light, everything. Which is fun,
I was in no agreement too, but also.
yeah. So we just upgrade. Okay. Is there any other board comments? I appreciate all the input from everybody. Usually we don't let people talk during the
I know.
meetings.
We appreciate it, thank you.
There's times where we can offer it, there's other times where our agenda's so long or.
When we first started, we tried doing this, and then we had people that were just there to raise.
Right. Right.
And I prefer to be able to talk to everybody and get input and feedback, so I appreciate it. We never need to wonder what Jim is thinking.
What?
Nothing.
I don't have all these issues at the cemetery.
Okay, motion to adjourn.
Make a motion to adjourn.
Motion's been made and seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
Thank you, everybody, for coming.